Welcome back to Lesscashmoremash. My name's Tom,
And I am Mike.
and today we're cracking open a new bottle of Yellowstone small batch Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Now, we've done a few Yellowstone, and we've had mixed reviews on all of them, so I'm kind of excited to see how this one actually plays out. So let's get into the particulars of it. I think it's relatively new when Steve found this one. So this one comes in at 107 proof. It is a 6-year whiskey. We got it for $29.99. It's distilled and aged in Kentucky. It's bottled for Limestone Branch Distillery out of Lebanon, Kentucky, and it is non-chilled filtered. And he did get this at his magical store, in case you ask, on there. But I didn't dig deep because we have done a bunch of different Yellowstones. I just wanted to get, I'll be curious to see. I remember when we did their cash strength. I remember Danny's, we did a blind. Danny's was better than ours was when they had the store pick one. But ours was wicked hot when we opened it. It was like 115 proof, and it was just hot to be hot.
So far, just looking at what you wrote down, 107 for $25.
It's a great deal.
It is a great deal.
That's why I told him.
Even if it's fair to Midland,
Yep.
it should get a pretty good rap.
When he sent me a picture that they have a new Yellowstone at the store, I was like, really? How much? And then he said the price, and I was like, what's the proof? I'm like, I'll try it. You know what I mean?
You really can't get 107, 108 anywher for this price.
This is why I wanted to do it, because we do have a couple of like, we just opened up the, what's behind me now? The Jim, was it Jim Beam that was 107? That one was. Rebel was, I think Jim Beam was 105
108,
or 108.
We're in
Yeah,
there,
there's a few of them. So I said I wanted to kind of get this one out because I think it would fit in there, depending on what it tastes like. I remember liking that yellow at the 107, 108, them round too. So, and the fact that we just did one that was 111 proof yesterday. So it's fresh in my mind how much flavor that one carried. Granted, that was finished too.
It was, but that nose was way better.
Well, this is kind of another reason why I wanted to kind of do this one soon, because that's kind of fresh in our brain on how
it is that.
Because that was very good.
And I didn't spill this glass, and somehow it's I have a mess still. Just saying.
We're gonna keep the you didn't spill it up in the air. I'll have to watch the film.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting. Wow.
This one's way hotter than what we just had yesterday. I know that.
Well, that's why I it's interesting because yesterday was thick compared to this. Like it was, granted, it was a finished whiskey, so this is a hard one to do. But it's fun when you do relatively similar proofs. This one drinks lighter and brighter, and I agree with you, maybe a little hotter, where that one was.
I didn't even switch that.
That was 4 proof hotter.
I understand.
No.
And it had to be the honey sweetening that one down and make it a nice ride. This one,
yeah,
you're drinking. You're up there.
When they had their 115 proof, we were actually like, whoa, that's hot. Well, you know what I'm saying?
So the apple didn't fall from the tree on that one.
That's why I don't want to try to guess it off of what it is, but.
And this isn't a store pick. This is just a regular, their 107 where they put out.
I believe so. It's just their small batch. That
I did read it, and I didn't see where it said a store on there at all.
No, I think it's just a small batch that they came out with.
I guess now that I have a second sip, it kind of eased down a little bit. But
and this one, I'm getting almost a hint of your nut this time. I didn't get it on the last one, but this one, there's a different flavor in there. So it's just funny how light and bright this one drinks compared to, like, yesterday's was thick and rich.
100%. And it did stick around. This one, it seems to stick around, but it's more proof too. And it's a lower proof, which is weird. And at the end,
I'm not getting that
There's
oaky
no
tail.
Yeah, no.
Where the other one, it was a triple oak if you look at it, because it was in a cask. But that one had way more of an oaky presence than and way more of a caramel, like a dark rich caramel compared to this one. But I hate doing reviews like this, but I do like doing reviews like that.
There is a little bit of a nut.
There's a little
in the start of that. There is. Not as pronounced as yesterday's, but it does carry a little more heat.
And I'll see if I get the nut once that one opens up. It kind of reminds me.
I'm listening.
I'm trying to think in my head because I am getting a little bit of that nut. It kind of brings me to what I remember, like our Jim Beam single barrel having, because there was a little nut in the front of it. Or in their defense, once we got through that first day, that settled
It-
way
it-
down.
it did,
It
it
settled
did,
way
it
down
did.
on the Yellowstone. Whether this does or not, I have no idea. But it was hot on the crack. But once we went back to it, it wasn't bad.
Still, you
It
look
kind
at
of
it,
drinks
look
like
at
a
it,
bean too, because bean
a
has
little bit
flavor, but not like a ton of
intense.
flavor.
I agree.
It's kind of like that.
But
light
and it's
bright.
in for what you got it for.
It's in the same price tag of that too.
Is it 24 or 29?
It's $29.99. I said it. I said that's my writing. Don't worry about that. I was a little distracted.
So even still, it's $10 cheaper than it's $50, and you got it for $30. For that, it's a huge deal.
That's part of the reason why I did it, because this was on.
No, because I did
in
chuckle.
his magical store. They discounted a bunch of good stuff or new stuff. Like this was like relatively new, I think, and I was like, and it's discounted, and I think MSRP is more near the $49.99.
I'm sure it is.
So I said, grab that one, Steve, because for $29.99 it can't be bad. You know what I'm saying? Like you know,
6 year,
yeah,
at 107. It's an AAA right there. But flavor wise, I don't know if I'm going to go that high.
I can't even give it an A-. Where
Nope.
yesterday's we gave an A-. This
I'm with you.
This doesn't carry that flavor or taste. This is. Man, I hate to go. That's the hard part of grading when you're blind. Because if we would have kept thinking and knew the proof and stuff, we might even bump that to an A. But I'd give this a solid B, though.
I'm B plus. Like, it's nowhere near.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near what we did.
It's not yesterday's at all. No, I agree. But it's not bad in any way.
No.
It's solid.
Well, it is.
You know what I mean? And it's funny because I think we gave like the Still Austin blind, we gave it like a B- because it was just okay. But then once we knew it was a higher proof and this and that, we changed our tune. That happens when you finally know what you're actually drinking.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be curious to see at the ones at this proof, like where this would actually do in a blind. So that's good. We must have enough 107, 108, but it doesn't carry that.
And it doesn't have a crazy amount of flavor either.
No,
you know, it's
like a hint of a nut, and it's a hint of a caramel.
There's
and
no
it's a hint of everything.
oak in the end. There's a mild sweetness in the beginning to a very, 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 very light nut.
I'll be shocked with that if I haven't done the single.
I don't know what the hell happened.
I haven't done a single barrel from Jim Beam in a while. At least I don't remember doing a single barrel from
But
Jim
price
Beam in a
range,
while.
it's there.
It's in the range. And for, like you said, a 6-year whiskey at 107 proof, I think that's what Baker's is, and you're upwards of what,
It's
$60 now?
It is 60.
You know what I mean? So
what?
You know, price, everything about it. That's why, I mean, this is solid for what it is.
Again, if you see the orange tag or the yellow tag, whatever one's the sale price.
What did I
that-
wipe off the other
that
tag?
is
I
the,
guess I did. I was trying to see.
So much for trying to sell that little pitch.
No, well, I did. I wiped it off. Well, I was trying to see.
It's
So $49.99. Now you're pushing it. I don't know if I would be happy at $49. $29.99, I don't mind it. You know what I mean? This is solid.
It's a steal at $29.
Yeah. At the $49.99, now you're pushing up where you can. I've got the first Bakers I had at $49.99. You're not gonna find it anymore. But that was the first, that small batch that they had. I got that one the first time there, like that.
I have this much left.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe tonight.
So overall, I mean, I like a B.
I'll stay with a B because there's no complex. There's no extra
No.
flavors in here. It's
There's nothing bad about it.
No.
Like, it's not breaking on my tongue when I'm rolling on it. It's not giving me a funky flavor
No.
that I don't like. But there's nothing like, oh, you got to try this. This is just solid. It's drinkable.
agreed.
You know what I mean? But and it does have a nice spice in the beginning.
It
They settle down.
It did kind of, the initial hit was, wow, this is really hot. But it did calm down a little bit. When you brought it out, I was like, we're going to try this again. I know we got 2 more over there.
There is actually, I bought not only this one, I did buy another one, and you have another one over there too.
That's been pushed in the back forever.
It started in the back and it just never moved because it's been there that long.
It's been a couple years.
It's been a couple years. Yeah. So on that one, but I wanted to try this one because I remember when he came over last time, he's like, "Oh, that red one is relatively new." So that's where you guys come in. You'll have to leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about this one. I mean, it is solid, and if you can get it at a deal, like again, this is the sticker, $29.99, $49.99. You're pushing the limits because I'm gonna have to get me another bottle of it. But I just think that I remember there being more of a nut even in my Evan Williams bottle of wine. I can get that for like under $20. You know what I'm saying?
$19.99. I just seen
The
it
last
today.
time it used to be $14.99 is what I used to get it for on the regular.
$19.99,
I haven't bought it in years, so I will have to get it. But even for $19.99, or think of the Fighting Cock or Wild Turkey, I think you get more complexity of flavor. You're in that price range of the sale. You get the last Wild Turkey for $18.99, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So you got to take that with a grain of salt. Them drink with more flavors.
It would be in that category actually. You know, and
I have to buy Wild Turkey number 17 then because they keep disappearing.
No, but it would be because, and again, this would get smoked at $50.
At $50,
yes,
absolutely. Because you're talking, you're up with rare breed and all of them. There's no way you could even hang with that. That's actually not a bad. Actually, 107.
Even the Four Roses.
Oh no, they no.
But it's still $50.
No, they're a little bit more than that.
OSC?
But yeah. The store picks. Oh no, that's at 100 proof though. Those are 44 or something like that. They're in a range. Yeah, it might. I bet that might have more complexity for sure. No, I agree with that.
That probably carries more flavor.
I agree with that.
You know,
if you didn't drink my other one, I would be able to compare them all.
That's what happened.
I kept the winners. That was the loser on ours. That was the one that lost. I said, I got to drink this. And the next thing you know, it was gone. I don't know what happened. So, well, there you go. We'll keep this one short and sweet because we always have a bunch of long ones. But again, leave a comment down below. I'll be curious to see if you guys do pull the trigger on this one. I couldn't help it at $29.99. You know what I mean?
I laughed because you shit on me. But
yeah.
It's funny when it's like, oh, another circle. We'll try this one again.
It was the key was the red stickers. You know what I mean?
No, I get it.
And when I looked up MSRP, it was under it. So you can't pass it up when it's almost half price. You know what I mean? So there you go. That's our review. That's the Yellowstone small batch Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Again, I do believe it's relatively new. So leave a comment down below if you guys have tried this and what you actually think. So that being said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Spend less, drink more. Cheers.